Hello and welcome back to the channel Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you enjoy what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up on this episode, Amos McManus announces a new Saints coach. Featherstone announces a new coach too. And the best bits from the Kristian Woolf press conference ahead of the Tas Battieri Trophy in Halifax. And we start with those coaching news as, first of all, Featherstone announced that former St Helens scrum half Sean Long has been appointed their head coach for ahead of the 2023 season. Long, who had a glittering career with the Saints as a player between 1997 and 2009, returned to the club as an assistant coach under Kieran Cunningham and Justin Holbrook during their spells as head coach. After a spell in rugby union, Long has been back in league as an assistant coach at Leeds Rhinos, working under coaches Richard Agar and Rowan Smith in more recent times. Now he takes his first steps as the head coach as he takes over at the Millennium Stadium to try and give the Rovers that much needed oomph to create a Super League club. Rovers chairman Mark Campbell said Sean brings a wealth of experience from a glittering playing career and more than 10 years of experience as an assistant working with some of the best coaches in the game. His name is synonymous with Super League, where we hope Sean can take us in 2023 with a style of play that is synonymous with the club's DNA. He does, however, have a World Cup to look after first of all, as the former St Helens and Great Britain scrum half will take the reins after the World Cup, where he will be serving as France's assistant coach. He said to the Rovers website, "It feels good. I'm really honoured. I had a spell with the club in 2013. I really enjoyed my time there then. The players and the staff are great, and I've kept in touch with a lot of them. I can't wait to get involved and to get back." The 46-year-old has had a long playing career as he started playing for Wigan Warriors in 1994 and played 12 times for them between 94 and 97, before a stint at Winners Vikings where he played 9 games gave him a chance at Super League glory as he went on to play for Saints 343 times. He then went on to Hull FC and played there for 22 games. But it was Saints where he saw the bulk of his success as he won the Super League a total of 4 times and also won 5 Challenge Cups, as well as numerous individual accolades including the Man of Steel Award, 3 Lance Todd trophies as well. And with his appointment today, the former St Joseph Catholic Comprehensive School pupil in Horwich, before moving to Denner High School on Frog Lane in Wigan, has now got a job as the boss of a rugby league club. Say Horwich as it's not far away from me. Only time will tell to see if Long will be a success, and hopefully people will be able to take what he did as a player on board so that it can translate to actions on the pitch. He was a former Great Britain and England international after all, so all the experience as a player can be taken on board, but it doesn't necessarily mean a translation to being a coach. Hopefully is one of the exceptions, as he's been in and around the game, both codes, as I said, last 10 years. On the same day as Sean Long gets appointed Featherstone Rovers coach, Paul Wellens upstages him by being appointed the head coach of their club, St Helens. Wellens has been part of the the club's coaching team since 2015 and became a player performance manager in that year, working with the academy and then the reserves before stepping up to the assistant coach at first team level. He coached under an array of world-class coaches, including former Saints Justin Holbrook and most recently Kristian Woolf, playing a key role in the club's 4 grand final wins in a row and the first Challenge Cup for 13 years. He has also worked under legendary coach Wayne Bennett for Great Britain and England, including at the 2017 World Cup and a home series win against New Zealand in 2018. More recently, he has also worked under current England boss Shaun Wane for the past 2 years. And the 42-year-old has had a glittering playing career at Saints, helping the club to win 2 World Club challenges, 5 Super League titles, 5 Challenge Cups during his 495 appearances. He has also beat a selection of strong coaching competition for the role, which included both young and up-and-coming as well as experienced personnel. He has signed a 2-year deal with Saints and has an option to extend his contract by a further year, which the club can take on if they want to. Wellens has also appointed 2 assistants, with Laurent Fresneau, the current France and Catalans coach, while Ian Talbot stays with the club after working under previous regimes also. Fresneau has a lot of experience as a head coach after being appointed Catalan's head coach in 2012, replacing Trent Robinson, who left the club to coach the Sydney Roosters. At 35, he was the youngest coach in Super League at the time and the first French coach of the Perpignan-based club. He spent 5 years as a head coach before in 2020 he was appointed as the French national team coach. He will now join Saints following the conclusion of the Rugby League World Cup with France and signed a 2-year deal with Saints as well. Ian Talbot will continue his role as assistant coach, having been done so under successfully working under Justin Holbrook and Kristian Woolf. He has been at the club for over 15 years, having coached at academy level, more recently being named as the reserves head coach, as well as the Lancashire Origin head coach. He will work alongside Paul and Laurent for 2023. Wellens was slated for the top job at Saints for quite some time now after he's done his apprenticeship, if you would like to call it, underneath the regimes that have been very, very successful. He said he's immensely proud to be named the head coach of a club like this, given the fact that it is a club that he holds close to his heart and one that he's been involved with for all his life. He feels it's a huge privilege and an honour to be their head coach. Speaking to the club's website, he said, "I've worked with some great coaches who have been hugely successful, and I've had some wonderful experiences along the way too. I've learned a lot. I will lean on those experiences as I take on the reins as a head coach. I'll take knowledge from all those coaches, but I've always have my own ideas and philosophies, and will want the team to play my way. I know the fans and the town like an attractive style of rugby, and I want to expand on that a little bit. Having said that, we need to maintain the desire, the hard work, and that defensive steel, as that is what gets you over the line in the big games. What success has given this group over the last few years is a thirst for more, and I also have that as a coach. I want to continue that. The challenge year on year does get tougher, and it is one that we are going to have to rise to again." The chairman of the club on the appointment of Wellens and Fresneau, Eamon McManus, said it's truly wonderful that Paul has been appointed the head coach of his hometown club. He's a standout candidate and in every regard, and will make a great head coach. It's fitting that we have a true club legend as a coach and as a captain in the 150th anniversary of our great club. I wish Paul every success, as I'm sure every Saints fan does. The appointment of Lauren Fraser new as an assistant coach is also a critical piece, as well as a complimentary appointment. He's bringing extensive senior experience at the club and at international level, and will provide great support to Paul and the coaching team. Now, for the final part of our segment, Tonga coach Kristian Woolf took part in a media call with press association from around the country, and I was able to watch in on that. And here are there will be bits and pieces from the actual interview in a few moments. They have a game against France in Halifax on Saturday, which is being shown over Recast, and you can find full details of that on Recast in a few moments. The Test Battieri Cup trophy will be competed by, and Gold Coast star David Fafita is set to debut for the Mati at the Shea after choosing Tonga, despite being picked for Australia's train-on squad. The clash is now being beamed around the world on a pay-per-view basis via an exciting new disruptor platform called Recast. No app download or subscription is necessary, but you will have to pay for the match. It'll cost 500 cast credits until Saturday, and then 16 if you sign up on match day. Recast access is via cast credits, and all new viewers will be given 100 cast credits free. Former NRL and Super League star and well-known commentator Jimmy Smith will be the main caller, with some exciting international stars of the game under consideration to join him. Once you have watched a match, you can enjoy it again on an unlimited number of times via the cutting-edge Recast platform. Sign up to watch Power vs Panache as Tonga face France in the shake-up in the Pennines on October the 8th, and I will post a link in the comments to where you guys can watch it. Anyway, let's have a listen to what Kristian Woolf had to say over that match and Tonga's preparation so far for the World Cup.
Really confident where we're at, and I love the way our blokes have come into camp. You can see straight away that there's a real bond as soon as they walk in the room together, and through the course of the last week we've added to what originally arrived from London. So a couple of guys like Adam Fanua Blake, Will Hopewadi came in a couple of days later, Tui Lolohea. We've still got Will Penasini and Sonny Luke to join us. They both played in NRL grand finals, and Sonny Luke played for Penrith in the reserve grade grand finals. So still a couple of players to join us, but I love the way they've come in. I love the way they look like they're ready to go fitness-wise. They've looked after themselves really well, particularly those guys who haven't played for a couple of weeks. And we've got a really large number of guys that have played through the finals as well, which puts them in a great position fitness-wise, confidence-wise, happiness-wise. So as I said, I'm really confident with where we're at and really happy with where we're at. I also love the way we've trained the last couple of days. You can see we've got a bit of a look in our eye and a bit of steel about what we're doing. So we're in a really good position. In terms of those odds, I think they're about right. I think Australia, they've won the last however many World Cups. They've been at the top in terms of rugby league for so many years now, and they've named a terrific squad. So I think they deserve to be the favourites. I think New Zealand deserve to be up there with them as well. And you look how strong they were in the mid-season test against us; they were outstanding. And you look at the squad that they've put together, then I certainly think that they deserve to be up there in terms of favourites. And England on home soil, and they've named a strong squad. And they've got a number of guys from St Helens who were obviously outstanding in the grand final as well. So I think they deserve to be where they are. And us as Samoa, we both named great squads. I know Matty Parish as a coach is really proud of what he's been able to put together, and we'll be really confident on the back of that. And I feel exactly the same way about our group. I'm really proud of the group that we've been able to put together, and it's still got to be mentioned that players who choose to play for Samoa and Tonga make sacrifice, particularly those ones who could be with Australia and New Zealand. There's a lot of things that they give up to be a part of Tonga and Samoa, and I'm really proud of the decisions they make there. I'm really proud of the strong decisions that they make, and we know that they're doing it for the right reasons, and they're going to go out and play that way. You have to ask the players that. Connie might be a good person to ask there, but look, I'd say so in a little way. Yeah, I think you've got to obviously stand for something, and I like to think I'm nice and clear with how I want our team to play, whether it's Saints or whether it's Tonga. But at the same time, I think you've got to be a little bit different according to the group you're with, and try and make sure that you adjust to the group that you're with as well. So, as I said, you'd have to ask the players that, but I think the answer would be that there is some slight differences. We've got to play to our strengths as a Tongan team. We've got a big, powerful team across the park, and we've got a real ability with the ball in terms of our passing skills and our ability to offload and play physical and play aggressive. So we've got to play to our strengths, and that's a little bit different to St Helens. And while there's plenty of crossover there's plenty of things that St Helens do well that Tonga can do well as well. There's some real differences in personnel too, and guys like Johnny Lomax and Jack Wellsby and those sorts of guys give us a point of difference there. So when you're with Saints, but at the same time, Tui Lolohea, Tolu Kola, Saliva Vili, those kinds of players mixed in with your Jason Tomalolos, Adam Whanua Blake, Siwa Taukeiahos, the mix of power and skill that we've got there means that we've got to adjust and we've got to be a bit different and play to what suits us. Very good makings of a side there, and I'd be very confident that all of the St Helens guys involved do themselves really proud and do their country really proud. And I know it means a lot to them. They're all extremely deserved from the seasons that they've had. And I've said before that I'm extremely proud of all of them, but in particular you guys like your Joe Batchelors and your Matty Lees and and Jack Wellsby, those guys who are getting opportunities for the first times. And I certainly wish them all the best. And I'm confident that they'll, as I said, do themselves really proud. Probably talk about there's Ignatius Pasti. He's had an outstanding year for St Helens, obviously, and when we lost Alex Wormsley at the end of the year, and there's been plenty of times when we've been criticised or comments have been made to say that without Alex Wormsley we can't win games. And what the difference was this year was the way Ignatius Pasti stepped up and filled that hole, and didn't just fill a void, brought his own strengths, his own power running, and really made an impact on the game. And none more so than the semi-final where he's outstanding, and the grand final where his first 20 minutes was explosive to put us on the front foot. And, he hasn't been named in that original 24, but he is in with us training, he is in our squad, and he has a chance of being in the final 24 as well. And he's a guy that you'd love to see get an opportunity because he's worked so hard for it, and he's certainly going to get that opportunity against France this week to show what he can do. And I'd love to see him on the international scale because I think he could do a great job. We're not sitting here as favourites and expected to win the tournament or anything like that. I think that falls on the three teams above us. I think that falls on Australia first and foremost, and New Zealand and England. And we're very comfortable with where we sit. But at the same time, we know that because of what we've done in the past, that no team's going to take us lightly. No one's going to get caught by surprise. That they're going to know that we're certainly a top forward team, and with that comes a little bit of expectation and a little bit of expectation around how we perform as well, and that's something we're very comfortable with too. I said at the start, I'm very confident and very comfortable in the group that we've put together, and I know that a little bit of expectation is, as I said, something we're comfortable with. I'm really lucky from that point of view. Dean Young was able to be the coach in the mid-season, and he's here as an assistant as well, and that means that it's not something new for a mid-season and then something new again at the end of the year. We've got a little bit of continuity in what we're doing as ideas and coaching and everything else. But I knew I miss being around the group, and it's just different, as I've said before, and I can't give you all the reasons why it's different because it's hard to explain. But I love being with the Saints players, and I love being with this group as well because of the difference. And just being back on the bus the other day and listening to the different type of music and seeing the players and seeing their faces when they walked into the motel and that kind of thing. It really made me realise how much I had missed it over the last 3 years. And it's great to be back in with the group. It's great to be back in camp, and that point of difference that our players do bring. It's great to be around that again. Assistant coach in 2013, and that was at the Pacific Test, and that was the first ever mid-year Pacific Test that the NRL put on. And prior to that, Tonga had never really known when they might play outside of a World Cup. Everything was a bit ab lib, so to speak, and for that reason and for the resources available, and a bit of lack of organisation in terms of a calendar, but also lack of organisation from the Tongan team themselves, the administration at the time. It was very hard for Tongan players and your best Tongan players to commit to playing for Tonga. So when that Pacific Test came around, it became a big thing. It became something that some of your best Tongan players wanted to be a part of. And guys like Fui Moi Moi, Sika Manu, Jason Tumalolo as a young man, Conrad Hurrell. We had some really good players that wanted to be involved there. And I remember not really knowing what to expect, I suppose, when I came into camp. And I was the assistant coach, as I said before, and I was asked just to sort of help out at late notice. And came into camp, as I said, not really knowing what to expect. And straight away I could just sense that, that real desire, that real passion, that real want to represent Tonga, and that real pride that all the players had in just being Tongan first and foremost, and having the ability to represent Tonga. And that wasn't lost on me straight away. And when we got into the game, that all showed, and that showed in bucket loads. And I remember that game so well. The way we, the intensity that we started with, the way we came out and played, the way we did the Sippy Tower before that, and then we really put Samoa on the back foot with our intensity. And that was a game that they couldn't finish the game, if you remember, because it was at Penrith Stadium. And prior to that, Samoa had the wood on us a little bit and won most games over the last 10 years. And we came out, and I can't remember the score, but it was a good score. It was a great win. The crowd ran on with 3 minutes to go, and we were kicking a conversion, and the game had to be called off. But it was my first glimpse of just how passionate not only the players but the fans were, and it was addictive. It was something you wanted to be around again, and something I really wanted to be a part of going forward. And I just remember talking to the players that were involved after that. And, as I said, Fui Moi Moi, Sika Manu, those leaders, Akumatai, and talking to them and talking about the potential. And there's so many other players that at that stage I wasn't aware of that were Tongan. And there's a lot of talk around players that turned up at the motel and talked about wanting to be involved, and what they wanted to see it look like so that they could be involved. And I guess I've seen the potential there, and that's why I wanted to be involved going forward from that date.
Yeah, I mean, we all know obviously that Tonga as a nation has been through a difficult time this year with the natural disasters it suffered. Is there a sense as well that the players really want to go on and represent the people back home and give them something to be? I mean, they're already really proud of the team, but really give them something to be able to celebrate, especially given what's happened back home earlier this year.
Yeah, definitely. We want to put a smile on their face. We want to make them feel proud. And, that's something this group's done so well for so long. The way they play, the way they carry themselves as men, the way they represent Tonga, the sacrifice that they make. I know that the people in Tonga are really, really proud, and not just the people in Tonga. The diaspora that are in Australia, New Zealand, America in particular. We had a great welcoming in London the other day with the High Commissioner and a number of people that travelled from all around England and Wales as well to come and show how much this team means to them. And that again is something that we know that's there. We know that what Tonga's been through this year, and all the families and everyone associated with the country feels that. Like I said, we want to put a smile on their faces and make them feel really proud through our performances in particular, but through how we carry ourselves as men as well. I think Keon Kalamatangi is a guy who's been extremely impressive in his year in the NRL and with South, and he's been extremely impressive in how he's presented over here and how he's trained with us. Along with him, his South Sydney teammate Junior Totola, he's been really really impressive as well, and he's had an outstanding year for South, leading their pack. We've also got some good young talent coming through as well. We've got Junior Amoni from St George, who's played a lot of first grade at 6 for them, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he holds up on the international stage. And we brought over a really exciting young talent in Isaiah Katoa as well. He's only a young man. He's only 18 years old, but he's played New South Wales Cup. He's played in finals in New South Wales Cup. He's led his Jersey flag team to a victory for Penrith in their grand final, and he's also down to be a part of the Australian schoolboys side. But because of the clash there with travelling for Tonga, he's decided he wanted to come over here and be a part of the whole camp with us. So that's just a couple. There's others. Tolu Kola, he's a really impressive young man coming through, and he's played a lot of first grade for Manly this year, as has Homoli Olakau'atu. So I could keep going. There's some really impressive young players there, and obviously there's your Dave Fafitas, Jason Tomalolos, Sifa Talakais, Daniel Tupos, those guys that people are really aware of as well. So we play our first 2 games. What was that?
I was going to say, it sounds like an embarrassment of riches that you've got there in the talent that you've got in the squad. So that sounds really promising.
We've got 24 men here who every one of them are playing NRL or Super League on a really regular basis. They're some of the best players in the world and some of the best athletes in the world. And, they're impressive men. And our first 2 games being in St Helens and with the likes of Conrad Hurrell, Will Hopewadi, Ignatius Parsi being in and around the group, I'd love to see so many people come down and support that game. And and also the game this weekend, I think it's going to be a really exciting game against France, and a really good glimpse into what we're going to be able to do, but also what France are going to be able to do in a World Cup. And we are going to be playing some of our biggest name players, so it's an exciting game for people to come down and watch.
So you can watch the full game online as following the link. watch.recast.tv/user/upper G, lower J, upper E, lower O, upper J. Hopefully you'll all join in and enjoy this fantastic game between France and Tonga. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are on the episode in the comment section below. It's open for you guys to talk to me about, and I'm always looking to grow the game. Kristian Woolf seems upbeat about Tonga's chances, but playing down expectations as he doesn't want to put too much on the players' backs. It's a very Saints-heavy episode as well, with both Sean Long and Paul Wellens getting head coach jobs, one being at Saints and the other being at Featherstone. Tell me how you think both of those get on in the comments below. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. And now wish you all the best, so please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.